Yo, what's going on? Damnation-n-Hellfire here, and I'm, of course, as always, joined by my fine feathered friend, Ross Crow.
Good evening, everyone.
And I guess tonight we'll be talking about some battle pirates. As you can see, it's only us two. Travis, I think, is still incommunicado, and ironically enough, like I was going to try to hit some of our regular standbys that we have when we tend to be a body short, but nobody was online. It was kind of weird. So you just get me and the lovely Ross today, but at least you get to look at his wonderful smiling face. So I guess we'll get right into it. Let me do some screen sharing and we'll start some slides here. If it'll cooperate. Can you still hear me?
I can.
All right. I'm experiencing some technical difficulties on my end. The Hangout saying not responding. So hang on. I'm going to log out of the Hangout and log back in real quick. Just talk a little while I do this, okay?
Sounds good.
What a great way to start the show.
Yeah, real good way. Well, yeah, tonight it's just Damnation and I anyway, so we'll be going over a few slides on the campaigns tonight. It's primarily the campaigns as far as I can tell. Quite a few campaigns ahead. I believe there's 5 we're going to go over, so that'll be something we'll be talking about. I myself have only begun one of them. I started, let's see, I think it was a siege spin. I'm just trying to fill some time up here, but that's the only one as far as I've started out in the campaigns. I've just been just getting ready for the upcoming event, the raid. I've been working on my Eradicator builds, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with what I've come up with on the Eradicators. We can go over that later on once Damnation is back and we go through the campaigns. But I know many people are changing their builds up slightly on their Eradicators, possibly trying different things. And I myself am going to the lower. Let's see, the lower cannon mount 2. So that's what I'm at, and I'll go over my build with everyone later on. But it could be a total failure, and it could be really a win-win in my opinion. I'm not really one to like to drive in PvE events, so primarily I'm building an Eradicator fleet to the best that I can, or my knowledge that will auto. So and I'll share that with everybody here in a little while.
All right, I think we're back, and I think my shit's working now. So there we go. Coming in, hitting buttons, and breaking shit. That's what I do.
All right.
So the first thing we got, of course, is the bonus Forsaken mission was this week. That started as always on Wednesday and ends on Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat station as always. This week we have you can get Pyroclastic Turret 2s and the radioactive isotopes in there, as well as the new siege special, the Scorcher Turbine. And Ross, you can go over that blueprint.
Okay, this is Reaver Tech Tier 8, and this one does add a total weight of 14%. It is in the Retro Lab, as shown in this blueprint here. It is at rank 15 already, so be aware that yours may not be ranked all the way to check those things out. This adds projectile speed and radioactive damage of 10%. It increases radioactive defense also 10%, while increasing the movement, bonus combat movement is 86.7%, along with turn speed and map speed. Turn speed's pretty great at 148.6%. So this is going to be a pretty nice special for those that are building the Shrike, Paul.
Isn't it kind of crazy though that strike people are going to have to refit their strikes before they've even had a chance to use them?
It is crazy. In my opinion, I think the strike's kind of for the top 1% maybe in the game is how that I'm looking at it. It came out so far behind. It's truly for only those people that wish just to coin the fleet straight out, in my opinion. Otherwise, they're just not going to have any real gameplay time in the game if you're building it slowly.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. But even those people have to be annoyed and kind of pissed off that they got to refit them now before they even have had a chance to use them in a raid.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you'd think on the second fleet out, at least give them everything right up front. Geez.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm guessing it just had to. This was probably scheduled for the week after the raid, but then since we had an extra week of FM, I'm guessing they bumped it. But they probably shouldn't have bumped it, I guess, in my opinion. But whatever.
Well, I want them to get everything at the start, so at least on the second fleet. So, but it looks like a great special. It really does. I'm not building the fleet myself, but the special has those attributes, the things that you're going to want. You know, the defense, along with projectile speed and damage, all together. That's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The radioactive damage part on them, I'm not really 100% sold on, because mostly, like, if that was like plus 10% shockwave damage, I'd be like, whoa, this is really good. Because that's where the strikes, that's where you're going to be looking for most of your damage from the shockwave. But I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got VXP weekend. You're going to have an extra one of those since we had that extra weekend before the raid. So I know I myself am kind of glad that this happened, because I have one Eradicator that's not quite legendary yet. So I'll be finishing that off this weekend. And as always, you know, it starts on Friday at 9 a.m. kicks time and goes till Monday 9 a.m. kicks time, but you're only going to have the really good targets till like 9 p.m. Saturday kicks time. So, you know, it's pretty much it's the XP weekend, just like they always are.
Right. That's basic. That's standard, you know. And it still kills me when people get on the Sunday and they say, "Oh, the targets are gone. Oh, the targets are gone." Well, you got to be kidding. Yeah, I know they're gone. It's just like every other time, you know.
Yeah. It's amazing how people, just either totally don't pay attention or expect, oh, this one's going to be different from all the previous ones, you know.
Right.
All right, let's get into the land of the TLCs, since that's what this week seems to be all about. Ross, you can go ahead and talk about this if you want.
Well, sure. Excuse me. Sure can. This is the Siege Spin campaign. And this started on Wednesday and also ends the February 13th. So this one's for your Razor Tail and your Bat Ray. And you take it out for a chance to win the Tier 8 Siege content. And it says beat a run and earn a chance to win once inside the chest is yours to discover. Try your luck, Pirates. So in Prize Pack 1, you're going to get the Tier 8 Siege Hull chest. In Prize Pack 2, you're going to pick up
well, let's talk about what's in these chests a little bit before we go much farther. Like, okay, so the Tier 8 Siege Hull chest is if you have a chance to get either the Eradicator or the Shrike, whichever one you don't have. So if you already have the Eradicator, then you'll get the Shrike. And, you know, if you don't have the Eradicator, you'll get the Eradicator. However, if you don't have either one of them, you're going to take anywhere from 5 to 9 hours worth of damage to get probably like 50K of uranium. Congratulations. You know,
right.
Because that's what happened to me. I had both hulls already. So I got like 50 or 60K uranium for like, I forget exactly how much damage I had. I think it might have been 6 or 8 or something like that hours worth. And I'm like, wow, what a great deal for me.
Right. And that's just because you're working your way to the mastery, you know, and that's where your goal is on this one. And it's the same problem's you're gonna end up with the Prize Pack 2 and 3. You're going to pick up the chests again in 2 and 3, along with the VXP tokens. times 2 in each case there. So, and it's not going to change until you hit that mastery round, and then you're going to pick up 1 day of tier siege tier 8 siege build tokens times 2. Now each time you can go through that, and then you can go through the mastery run 3 times. So you're going to have a possibility of picking up six days in tokens for doing that. But if I've spoken to several people that have done this, you know, and you're going to pick up like an average of what 5 to 10 hours, like you said, for the prize pack 1 through 3. And then you're going to pick up another 12 hours damage, 10 to 12 hours damage on the mastery.
Now, here would be one thing I would recommend. I know some of us probably have sitting around some fleet repair tokens that Kix is giving out at some point in time. Like I know right now I have one 12-hour one and one day one. I may do those use those during the mastery rounds, because, you know, if I can if my fleet dies partway through, I can use like the 1 day or the 12-hour, mostly repair it and get right back into the campaign. This would be one thing that it would probably be worth using those long fleet repair tokens if you have them, because the return that you'll get.
Yeah, I would agree.
And something to note too, like the tier 8 siege weapon chest and the tier 8 siege special chest, it will, from the way I understood it, it's always going to default to the eradicator stuff unless you already have it. Then it'll move on to the strike stuff. So the odds of you getting, say, like the eradicator in the first chest and then the strike weapon and the strike special, like that should not happen. If it does happen, put a ticket in. Might be 10 days till you hear back from your ticket, because they're way backed up on tickets, but that's the way it's supposed to work. It's always supposed to default to eradicator stuff, and then if you have the eradicator stuff, it goes to the strike stuff.
Right.
But I know the damage is freaking crazy in this thing. I mean, it's like way over the top.
It's very high. Yeah, it is very high.
I've done prize pack 1 and prize pack 2 so far. Prize pack 1, I think I took like 7 hours of damage. Prize pack 2, I took a significant amount on my bat rays, and then I actually switched over to my razor tails. And by the time I got to the last encounter, I actually had to let my flag for my razor tails repair for 35 minutes or so before I could continue on with the campaign. So, yeah, this campaign is no freaking joke, man. Again, you know, they put the level of this campaign up to where the people who are going to be able to get the tokens are the people who don't really need the tokens.
Right. But they've been going in that direction lately. I mean, I think in other aspects of the game, they have in the way they've released certain things, and they're going for that top 1%.
Well, and that top 1% will be an interesting conversation later for the very last slide we have about. Well, we'll talk about that when we get there, but that'll be a very interesting conversation. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is where he does talk about clarifying the siege spin. It does not leave much chance in practice to ensure players don't get mismatched prizes should they own the alternatives. You have a 100% chance of getting the Eradicator's weapon and its special if you do not own them. If you do own one or more of them, then in the chest of that level, you get the equivalent strike component. Blah, blah, blah. So pretty much what I said.
Yeah.
So then we got the Under Siege campaign. This is where you can get your Buccaneer. You know, we've had this one several times. Prize pack 1, you get the Buccaneer and some VXP tokens for it. Prize pack 2, you'll get the Peak Accelerator Cannon and VXP tokens. Prize pack 3, you'll get the Mass Augmentation Nexus, more VXP tokens, and a 1-day Buccaneer build token. And then in the last one, you'll get some more VXP tokens, and you'll get 1-day Buccaneer build token times 2, and that's a mastery round. You can do it up to 3 times. So basically, if you do the entire thing, you'll get 7 days worth of Buccaneers and all the stuff that goes with the Buccaneers. So I don't know. Anything you really want to say about this one? I mean, we've had this campaign quite a few times, so I think most people know.
Yeah, this is just one of those ones you got to do. It's really a good campaign to do. I don't think the damage is over the top on this one compared to others. So if you haven't done it, do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have much rather preferred to see the Hydra campaign.
Yeah, but
you deal with what you get, I guess. And then Ross, you can go over the Allied Boon one.
Okay, this is so it says still need a boost and get involved with the current siege cycle. Grab a friend and take on the Allied Boon campaign. So this one's your co-op, and I'm always been a fan. I have been a fan of the co-op, so I'm promoting this one again. The boon is essential to play in tier 7 targets and in the upcoming raid. So to get it, go while you can. It says note tier 6 or tier 7 fleets of each sellout are required to complete the campaign. So you have to have those to enter it, as far as I know. The prize pack 1, you're going to get the Buccaneer Boon Shard ×2. You're going to get a 1-day Buccaneer build token and a ranking token for 6,000 VXP. In the second one, you're going to pick up 2 more shards. You're going to pick up a Buccaneer build token ×2 again, and also the 6,000 VXP tokens ×2 again. In the end of the prize pack 3 is where you're going to pick up the final boon shard to complete the blueprint. You're going to pick up 3 days of build tokens on this one, and then 2 more 6,000 VXP tokens. So you're going to get a total of, let's see here, of 6 days of Buccaneer Boon tokens. That's pretty good. I know we've seen this one before. You want to get out there and do it. It's one of those hauls you need done.
Yep. So yeah, like I said, pretty self-explanatory. We've had this one quite a few times as well. So if you don't have it, just grab a friend. It's real for higher level friend. It's real easy for them to do. You can just hide in the corner and let them do the entire thing. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Then we have base race. I hate this campaign because I don't have icebreakers anymore. But anyway, that was started yesterday at noon kicks and goes till this coming Wednesday, noon kicks. This will let you catch up on your base tech. So if you have icebreakers, I guess technically you can do it with monoliths too, but icebreakers are probably the best way to go, I would think. But yeah, if you don't have your level 7 outpost, your level 11 weapons lab, your level 11 advanced lab, and your level 11 naval lab, you'll get them in the first prize pack. And then next prize pack, you go up to level 8 outpost, level 12 dock, and a level 3 shipyard. Next prize pack, you go up to level 9 outpost, level 13 dock, and level 4 shipyard. And prize pack 4, you go to level 5 shipyard, level 12 advanced lab, and level 12 weapons lab. And then the last one is the one that everybody actually wants it for, is you can do the mastery run, and you'll get a 1 day worth of regular structure build tokens for every mastery run you do, and 3 days worth of defense platform tokens for each mastery run you do. So basically, you can, if you do it all those times, you get 3 days worth of generics and 9 days worth of turret platforms.
And there are quite a few returning players out there, and they're in need of these things to catch up. So
I'm really still really annoyed by the tier 6 garrison fleet limited on it, because I know probably there's a few people who are in the situation I'm in on my alt, where I logged in on my alt, I got my free bat raise, and then by having those free bat raise, I was able to go straight to get enough points to get the Inferno Dragon. So I never even had really a need to build icebreakers. And my alt could use all these freaking upgrades. And but I can't do the campaign because I don't have tier 6 ones. I skipped right over them and went to tier 7 ones.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. I don't know how else to put this forward to them that like you really need to change this because I've mentioned it several times. I just like want to hold their face into a rotating metal fan. I think at this point, but maybe I'm just a little bit bitter. And then we got one more. Go, Ross.
The Conqueror's Gamble campaign. And then it began Wednesday, and it also ends Wednesday, February 13th at noon. Now, this one here is to get caught up in all of your Tier 7 tech by trying out your luck in the Mastery Treasure Chest. This campaign is difficult, but it has the possibility of giving out full blueprint sets with each chest opened. So prize pack 1, the Treasure Chest, and Tier 7 Conqueror build token, plus titanium at 20,000. So I haven't done it, myself. It's for those that are. I have almost everything in Tier 7 already caught up. So.
Yeah, I think when this campaign came out the first time, because I think this is like the third time we've had this one now. I tried it when it came out the first time. The damage again was just through the roof, and I'm like, I was like, not only is the damage too high, but I don't need any Tier 7 stuff anyway. I'm moving on to Tier 8 stuff. So to me, this campaign was pointless, not only because of the damage, but because of the prizes that were associated with it as well.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I didn't. We going to use a Mana Core fleet on this one? Is this?
Yes, I do believe this was a Mana Core campaign.
Right. Okay. So, so those people with the Cadies, those you can go out right out there and just smash away at this with the Cadies. As far as I'm aware, if I do believe it allows you to use that, and then in my opinion, this is a good. Good campaign for the Cadies owners. The other one, other than that, it's a little high in the damage, like you were just saying.
That seems to be par for the course nowadays, though. And it's like, oh, here's the TLC, and we're going to put the damage through the roof. Have fun. We're on to bug fixes and tunings already. Boy, this is probably going to end up being a short show, guys. Let's see. There was a issue that people would have invisible gates. Their gates were actually there, but you couldn't see them. So that was when you would rotate them in the base planner. Remember how you were thinking that people had been doing the post that they were just like disappearing, and people thought they were like literally like gone. But no, apparently they were just invisible in your base. So they were still there, but you just couldn't see them. So apparently they fixed that on live now. And the BP app, there was an error where people could actually use PvE fleets to defend their base. So they fixed that. Gale Defense 4 can be equipped to surface only weapon slots. Gale Defense 4 has been updated now to only be equipped to slots that allow countermeasures. And then, of course, as always, other general bug fixes and performance improvements. Yeah, this is going to be the fun one. The leaderboards from the pillage prizes should be delivered on Wednesday in the morning. And then they correct the time for pillage leaderboard prizes. They need to wait until after the deploy to get those out. Apologies. Yeah, so let's talk about the Transformers and the way this whole thing is going down. We were talking earlier about them catering to the 1%. Boy, the 1% is pissed off about this. This has been like a freaking disaster, dude. Do you want to talk about it a little bit, Ross?
Well, I mean, what are we calling the Transformers? The whole swap over? I mean,
well, you mean the heavy Transformers is basically what everybody's up in arms about.
Okay. Well, for me, the heavy Transformers is an issue for me personally, because they carry so much base power with it, and so that it so affects the bubble pads so greatly. And we haven't seen this before with weapons.
Well, I mean, the big thing though, that's the big problem at the moment is, you know, how the top alliance was supposed to get an extra one, and then the top player on the leaderboards was supposed to get an extra one. They fucked that all up playing the prizes out, dude.
Well, as far as I know, they see, I didn't know we were gonna. Just what I'm hearing, I don't really know. As far as I know, they gave out the wrong prizes to the wrong alliance already.
Yes. From everything I've gathered, it was supposed to be SDS7 that was supposed to get the extra transformer, but apparently somehow BPL ended up getting it. And here's the kicker: not everybody in BPL even got it.
So just some people got an extra one randomly, and that's pretty cool. And only in one alliance, even.
Yeah, because the way it was supposed to go down was the SDS7, you know, all the members of SDS7 were supposed to get an extra one. Well, apparently something happened, and BPL ended up somehow showing up first on the leaderboard, even though they weren't first on the. They didn't show up first on the leaderboard, but they got the prize for being first on the leaderboard, even though they weren't. But then again, not all members of BPL got an extra one. Like, you know, I know, for example, there was 2 that were confirmed that got extra ones, the Bulldog and somebody else. But then, like, Maui Jules said that she didn't get an extra one. She was still only at 3. And she's like the leader of BPL, unless I'm mistaken.
You're correct.
So, like, how the hell does that work?
And I do know that not only the top prizes, as far as I'm aware. I mean, here we go, but yeah, I hate to say it, but my screen flashed, was flashing some Magic League awards at that same time, and got some things awarded, and I'll straight up tell you, I didn't win shit.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just along the top. I think it happened. I think they screwed up all the way down here and there. I didn't get any transformer thing or anything major, but I didn't win anything, and I was winning things.
I know I got one day siege build token for a siege hall, and I got, I think, 2 siege VXP tokens, and then I think I got like 100,000 titanium.
Were you supposed to get this siege token?
Yeah, if you were in the top, what was it, 10,000 or something, I think you got a one day siege build token, and then if you're in like 162 to something, you got 2 days worth, and then it went up from there on the different tiers.
Okay, well then maybe I guess I'm sorry. Then I just didn't. I missed that. I guess I got what I had to do.
Yeah, and I think it was top 20. You had to be in like the top 20 alliances, I think, to get any kind of. That's where I got my like titanium and my VXP tokens from. Well, so if your alliance didn't quite get enough points, and you weren't at least 20th, you wouldn't have got anything from there either. Well, but yeah, I mean, this is I've said from the very beginning, I didn't think leaderboard prizes should hold any part in the game, because there's already such a gap between the haves and the have-nots, and the leaderboard prizes exasperate that. I mean, let me rephrase that. You shouldn't necessarily not have anything, but it shouldn't be anything that really has a drastic impact on the game. And let's be honest, I think somebody having 1 or 2 more heavy transformers is going to have a pretty big impact on the game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it could.
Yeah, I mean, well, like 100% it could, you know, because like I know, for example, how much better my base is done since I put 3 of the heavy missiles in, and now if I could put 4 of them in or 5 of them in, oh my gosh, that's a huge swing.
See, that's a, see, that's just, it's just conversation. I don't use them. So, I mean, I don't use them at all. I don't have them. Don't plan on using them. I'm waiting for the refactor before the bases I see use them still getting smoked. So they aren't anything magical to me.
Oh yeah, I can tell you 100% for sure they made a huge improvement in my base defense. But just like everything, it's all a matter of placement and all that kind of stuff. So
no, yeah, I mean, people, I see people having luck with them. I think that, in my opinion, it's still the guard. That is your ultimate strength of your base. And I'm hoping that they take a look at that still, just not by throwing some transformers with a whole bunch of base power.
Well, and I know a lot of people are concerned about, their effect on the bubble pad too and whatnot, but you have to realize you don't have to put these things on level 10 turrets and have like crap tons of stuff all tied up into one of your bubble pad tied up into one turret. Then you can put the heavy transformers on a level 7 turret that has less starting hit points to begin with. And that way it won't impact your bubble pad quite as much. So I'm not sure how many people have thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to delete so much stuff to get mine to where the way I would like it, not to where it needs to be or whatever, but to where the way I would like it. It's not. I'm sitting pretty the way it is because the way they designed this for me. In all honesty, there's lots of players out there with deleted bases as far as and I'm talking what I'm talking is I'm missing turrets and I'm missing warehouses. I've deleted down in levels in certain buildings and things like that also, to get things to a bubble pad level at a different level. And I actually am enjoying it because all these things that keep coming up with increasing your that's campaigns for your base. I don't need to do them. I don't need to do any of them. My base is doing great. I'm not gonna lie, it's doing great. And because I worked on it on deleting things. And I'm not going to say
I refuse to delete turrets. I will not delete turrets. And I have a feeling as we progress and get deeper into tier 8, a lot of the people who did go back and delete turrets are going to be regretting that.
I agree. I think I will be regretting it myself, but I'm just saying by design, if you're going to look at the top metal bases in the game, and not all, but most have deleted a few turrets just to make it right. And I think that they wouldn't be doing that if they thought it was not beneficial.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not beneficial, but I definitely think in the long run they're hurting themselves. But then again, a lot of people who are up at that level, they don't care because they'll just like buy new turrets when they need them,
Yeah, and they do, and it's crazy. Some people, I look at their base, and the next day it's been totally changed. I'm like, wow. But some people are at a totally different level in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest. You can use base parts to get them the whole way back up to 9. It's just that 9 to 10 stretch that you have to worry about, as far as whether to coin them or to spend time on them. So,
and I like that. I have actually changed out 4 to 6 turrets in a day before, just working on base parts. Where in the past, years back, we didn't have that option, and that's really an option I do like in the game, is the ability to do the switch, the changeover on base designs and total base weapons as fast as we can currently. I do like that in the game.
Yeah, it's really good. It gives you a lot of, you can experiment so much easier, you know. And I wish we could do it that fast on our boats, you know.
Oh yes, I mean, and because you didn't in your activity level really increases during that time because you're having to get base parts. I mean, you'd have to do the same thing for titanium, let's say for building or resources anyway. So your activity level does increase. I wish it would be I wish we could pump out boats that fast.
Yeah, I'd love to see ship parts for doing refits. I would love it.
Yeah, my in-game activity level would increase with that a great deal.
I'm gonna make a campaign poster, ship parts 2019.
Yeah.
So, well, okay, we're 37 minutes in, and we have no more slides. So, what do we want to talk about?
Well,
Chat, this is where you can come in handy and throw some stuff out there you want Ross and I to talk about. But what you got, Ross? What do you want to discuss?
Well, the only thing I had was let's see, I was mentioning that I put that lower cannon mount 2 on my Eradicator, and that was my plan going forward into the raid. And my true plan is, and I know it's great, and well, and I hope it works. And my plan is to auto the raid.
Right. Well, yeah, that's not an unusual plan for you.
No, right. And so I was going to share, you know, I actually was just going to share my build.
Okay, go ahead, pull it up.
So I'm refreshing the game right now, and then I'll go to screen share so I can come up with that.
Whatever you do, don't hit the wrong button because then you'll freeze up and you'll have to like exit the hangout and all kinds of stuff. It goes crazy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So let me find a. It will go to magic when I let's see. Share, screen share. Okay, I think I'm screen sharing.
You are screen sharing. Here, let me put you on present. All right, you're good.
Very good. All right. So what we have here is just showing you my brutal Eradicator right off the bat because this is well, I've actually gone through them and I'm switching them all over, and I'm adding this lowered cannon mount 2. Now, what I've done I've taken the let me move my cursor so get it out of the way there, and I took off autoloader 3, I believe, or siege targeting. They're both missing from the build now, so you could say that either or. So what I have left with is siege battery, and I have the nuclear accelerator 3, the new nuclear accelerator. I did put the ballistic resistor on. You have 2 different choices of resistors, and I think through my fleet I did swap them over just because of my availability. You might want to watch which one you're taking the damage. I don't know the target very well yet, so I'll possibly change out later on my resistors to which one, if it makes a difference. Then I did go with the Hyper 30 because I'm going for the splash damage reduction. I think it's going to play a big part in at least my autoing it. And then I did add the alloy armor CL4 to the build. Now, on my armor choices, there's other people have changed a couple armors, but I'm going straight across the board with the folded ferrite armor F1 CR. So I can come up with a possibility of a ballistic and radioactive defense of 98%, and that's just my goal going into it. And I think I'll probably adjust possibly the armors going to see how I'm doing. It's going to be hard for me to tell what's doing the greater damage.
Yeah, for you it will be really hard to tell because, like, for me, I know it's radioactive because, you know, I'm getting hit by the flamethrower. But for you, you're not only going to be getting hit by that flamethrower, but you're also going to be getting hit by that short-range ballistic cannon that can just eat you alive.
Yes, and then that's my plan. That's why I'm saying, because I really won't be able to armor like everyone else that's driving, because I'm really just going to plan on just taking the brunt of it and coming up with the most armor as I can, and that's my plan.
So I guess tomorrow you're going to get a good indication probably for how this is going to work for you. Because tomorrow is when the VXP weekend starts, so you'll be able to hit those targets and see what's going to happen.
Yes. And it's a good thing because I as you can see, this one hull even needs rank still. I just haven't really been a fan of the way the ranking's been going for me lately. And so this is what I've come up with. Oh, you can see my air compressors going off in the background.
Oh, there you go. Get right. Paint some fishing lures, I suppose.
That's right.
Well, there you are.
I don't know. Does anybody have any questions on the build? I don't know. I can't actually see at the same time.
No, nope. I don't see anybody having any questions.
All right. I'm looking, I'm hoping it does good things. I really am. It's built as good as I can build it. I could possibly change out a couple armors, go for more a little bit heavier on the ballistic side or heavier on the radioactive side. But I'm pretty high up there at 98. So
do you think it's a coincidence that we're not getting battle report until after this raid? Do you think that's a coincidence?
Yeah, it could be. No, I just think that's actually just as fast as they can get it out. I do think it's something that they are happy with their new availability of this coming out. I think that they're pleased with it. So I just think they are trying to push it. It would help me at this point. Yes. I'm not going to be a fan of it myself, but it would help me in this PvE area.
Right. Dynamite is saying about Siege targeting 4, but I want to say I don't think Siege targeting 4 and lowered cannon mount stack, I think, is the problem. Hover over lower cannon mounts real quick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that doesn't stack with Siege targeting because they both have wall and building damage together.
Correct. No, you're totally correct with that. They will not. Right.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. This whole raid cycle is interesting. Like I'm anxious to see, like, can the eradicators actually do the strike targets, because there's going to be strike targets in this cycle, and like in the upcoming raid. And hardly anybody has strikes built, so our eradicators going to be able to do the strike targets in any kind of reasonable fashion?
Right, or is everybody going to be avoiding the whole completion thing in general? I mean, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally interested in seeing if I can do top targets with just the flagship again. Because that worked out really well for me last time. It's like, yes, it took a little while to kill the targets, but boy, it really didn't cost me much to do them. So,
no, that was great. No, that was a great way to do it. But it took some engagement. You couldn't just click auto like I'm going to try to plan.
Right.
So I'm hoping that ability is still there. That's something that I want to see in the game, continuing moving forward. That's kind of one of those features I like, is that that you could really outperform me because I'm going to click on the outside of the thing. And
right.
It really upset me, truly, if we do the same. That won't be right.
And it's going to also be interesting to see if Hydras are going to be as effective as what they were last raid. Because I just have this feeling that Hydras maybe are not going to be quite as effective as what they were last time.
It's just a hole I wish I never built. But you know, I made those errors a couple times through the game, and the Hydra, it really has done well in these series of targets. I think I think actually better than the Eradicator itself. But we'll see.
Yeah, it certainly would have been interesting to see if Hydras could have hit the top end targets. Like which hull would have been doing better.
Yeah, I mean that would have been neat. In my opinion, we weren't locked out or any match. Let's see what they match them up.
So, chat, do you guys have anything else you want us to talk about or questions you want to ask? If not, we might just close this one up early. I know it's going to be interesting to see the whole fiasco with the HT transformers getting paid out to the wrong people and all that shit, like how they're going to actually go back and fix that.
Yeah, I'm not certain how they are going to. They're just probably just going to have to award more to the winners, you know. But then you didn't really give them anything above second place.
Yeah, you know, it's almost like at this point they almost have to give everybody in the game one and then give SDS 7 2. Is kind of almost what they have to do at this point.
And to be honest, that's SDS 7 deserves more than what was given out on error, because they're certainly not going to take something away.
Right. Well, that's why I'm saying SDS 7 would be given 2 as opposed to everybody else being given 1.
Yeah, I say that's the way to go for it, and that is the way to do it. And these errors are silly, but I think that they do need to be compensated in that fashion.
Dynamite, they have already come out and said they're not going to be taking stuff back that they gave out on their error.
Right.
So the guys who got the stuff that weren't really supposed to get it, they got a bonus. But I don't know. It's always interesting when these things come up because, like, you know, if shoes would have been on other feet in a lot of positions, people would have been like crowing about, "Oh, look what I got and you didn't get," but even though I wasn't supposed to get it, ha ha ha. You know, I mean, and it's just interesting to see how people react when shoes are on other feet sometimes. You know, because I've seen plenty of instances before where people got stuff that other people didn't get, whether it was the ability to run a TLC a second time or to get like a whole bunch of extra prizes or some kind of glitch like that. And people didn't complain when they were on the benefiting end of that. But, you know, as soon as they were on the shaft end of it, boy, they really had a lot to say. So, I don't know.
I don't know. How do you award the wrong alliance? I mean, how do you?
Apparently something. What happened, I guess, was in where they use the data to figure out who won first or whatever. Apparently, the blitzing wasn't adding up on the chart that they used to figure out the prize payout, even though it showed up on the leaderboards in the game. Apparently the way that I guess they factored in-house wasn't showing up the blitz totals. So I don't know, dude. This is just yet another reason, in my opinion anyway, that they shouldn't even have leaderboard prizes to begin with.
Definitely. If they can't, you know, yeah, get rid of those. I did like the old ones, you know, where the top 4 in the sector or whatever, you know, it made it simple. But, yeah, I like individual prizes. I'm really against. I truly am against, even if I was in – I am. Even if I was receiving the winning top alliance awards, I'm not for those. I'm a leader of a darn good alliance. I think we're darn good, but we're certainly not a top 10 or, you know, the top winning alliance. And I got to tell you what you're doing is you're making a greater distance between me and those. And that doesn't create fun. That's not a level of fun. And those players in the SGS7 or BPL, or in all honesty, that are in those alliances, and I'll say it like it is, that are better than my alliance, better, stronger in the game. They don't want that. They are tired of, they are not happy with getting hit by the same people for the last 3-4 years, and it's just getting to be more and more selective, and you're just singling it down farther and farther. And so by doing that, you're increasing this divide. And
yeah, I mean, if you want to keep the leaderboard prizes, make it for shit that doesn't really impact the game. You know, like skins, or like, you know, when they did it for crews, like just one a little bit ago. You know, that shit is stuff. Or fucking hats, or do T-shirts, or you know, sell some of the people in the mailroom, or I don't care. You know, but stuff that's not going to impact the gameplay. You know, and make that chasm wide. You know.
Exactly, because we want to make that, we want to make that gap less. I want to get hit by I want to get hit by players I've never heard of. I don't know their name, never heard of their name. That would be so fun. That would be great. To be a week of getting hit by people I've never heard of. Well, the reason that doesn't happen is because the divide is getting greater and greater.
I mean, we had an interesting talk going on Discord last night about how pretty much everybody, and like I didn't see anybody that was really in disagreement with it. Even like, you know, the big base hitters and everything are like, let's just get rid of medals. Let's get rid of the medal system. Because then, you know, people will be hitting all kinds of people because they won't know. Other than by reputation, it's like, I don't know if this guy has a good base, this guy has a bad base. It'll promote a lot more hitting of different people, you know, because how many times you're like, you know, oh, well, somebody's talking trash in comms and whatever, and you're like, oh, I'd go hit you, but you're only worth like 4 medals or whatever. You know what I mean?
Or they're worth nothing. And so that's really the point. There's so many players that are truly, the way the medal system works, and it's not because I'm good. It's just that there are the gaps between are so great that many players are worth nothing to other players. Nothing. Zero. So that gives you zero really incentive. What am I going to really gain by going over and hitting this? And I see a map full of zeros. And these aren't really inactive players. It's just that the different level of activity or different level of base. And I would like to see the medal something done with the medal system myself. I can't say that I like kind of the show off ability to show who's good, or in a way. But
do you really need a show off ability though? Because back in the day, you didn't need it because everybody knew who was good and everybody knew who was bad. You know.
No, and I agree that any longer you do not. But for a while, I liked the medals because the zeros meant the bases were dead, okay, and then I didn't hit those on the map and waste my time, right? And I liked it for that. Now, the map's been, you know, we actually have had a reduction of clutter of the dead. There still are some, I know, but in general, a huge portion of the dead bases are gone now, and so I don't have that. So I don't care about these medals myself. Yeah, I would like to see something done.
And I know Carl was saying something about 6 years ago, War Commander medals let you buy limited stuff. But they would have to come out with a way that the medal system couldn't be manipulated near as easily as what it can be now. I mean, medals are stupid easy to manipulate right now. You know, they have been pretty much ever since they were first brought out. I mean, just look like at Apex Predator and Knight and you know, that whole little chain that's there at the top that we all know what's going on. You know, with Forrest Gump, Knight, and Apex Predator, like everybody knows what's going on there. You know, and that's how they managed to keep at that top thing because the medal system is so easy to manipulate.
Yeah, it's by design. And so I would like to have something, taking a look at it. I like the fact that we get to see some way, if a base's activity level is higher than another's, just from being on the map. I like that. So I would like something still. I can't say that I would like these current medals, but I would like something, I guess, without having to go through and look at their info, I guess, and scanning on their.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. To me, reputation is enough. Like for example, if you go, if you see Padre Prince's name, you're going to be in for a challenge. If you see Ewoks coming to hit your base, you're like, oh, this is probably going to hurt. But reputation, for sure, back in the day was always enough. I mean, we had how many years did we have before we even had medals?
No, that's true. In some of the best base hitting there was, yeah. And let's be honest, that's the most fun I have in the medal part is when I dump, and then you go back up and you go back through them again. So the medal, the whole system itself is kind of screwy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I mean, somebody I think in Discord last night said even, well, you can go by wins and losses. I'm like, you can manipulate that stuff real easy too.
You can.
And that's the sad part of no matter what kind of system they come up with, we're probably going to be able to find a way to manipulate.
Right. But if it just doesn't make the divide greater between the haves and the haves not, I'm okay with that. I am. If they don't get something, I don't want. I'm not really sure that the medal system can be manipulated so much that I don't want anything awarded at this point for a medal. I used to think I did, but I just am concerned about the possibility of manipulation, and that's true. And I can't. I might even do it myself, But I mean, that's just how it is. So, but
I mean, I remember when I played World of Warcraft, and I know I always use this as an example, but it's one of my best frames of references. Is you could get PvP points in that game as well by doing battlegrounds and stuff, and it was funny because win or lose, you would get a certain amount of points for doing the battlegrounds. So you would enter battlegrounds, and you would see people just standing around, not doing anything, but because they knew that they were going to get points no matter what. So I mean, that just shows that like you can't even do it that way because people are going to find a way to emulate shit.
Right. I do like points for entering though, per attempt. Because that would give you something for a loss instead of in an attempt, and that might increase game activity. I think we're going to need some boosts in the PvP world. I just think we are. So
hey Rick, what's going on? What do you have to say, buddy? I went ahead and put the link into the YouTube chat because we were kind of running out of stuff to talk about, but we were getting close to the after show and a little bit overtime. So
good deal.
So what are you thinking, Rick? Are you there?
He might not know he's here.
He's on the phone. He's on the phone, apparently.
All right.
All right. But anyway, I'm going to pull the plug on the live section. I put the Hangout link there in the chat. If anybody wants to jump in on the after show, you're more than welcome to. As always, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe. If you haven't sent your friends to the page already, shame on you. Do so now. And we will talk to you Saturday, where I'm sure we'll have a lot more stuff to talk about on the TLCs, and we'll see what's going on with the pillage prize payouts at that point, and we'll see what they decided to do. And I'm sure that will be an amusing conversation. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great one.
Good night, everyone.